I'm 45, almost 46 years young. A few years ago, I was getting really, really sick. I finally went for an ultrasound and was waiting for the results. I got a call from the specialist, and the specialist said, "Can you please come in?" So I went in. He told me that I had uterine cancer, and it wasn't just benign tumours or anything. It was, you have to go and get this out now, otherwise you're not going to live anymore. I had a bucket list of things to do. Competing on stage was one of those things. So when I actually recovered from cancer, I thought, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my life and just really do the things that I want to do and be happy for each day that I'm alive. You've got a goal, go for that goal and just keep on pushing and keep on persevering.
Welcome back to the Comp Closet podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Sarah Moore, and today we are joined by the beautiful new FMG Pro, Adele Williams. Adele, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. I'm a bit starstruck because I'm one of your biggest fans.
Oh, thank you.
The Sarah Moore front pose I have watched and practiced so many times, so I feel privileged and honoured. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, I love that so much. I'm excited. So before we dive into the details of your last show, could you tell me a bit about your background and what led you into competing?
Yep. So I'm 45, almost 46 years young. Um, I, I work as a international tax law advisor, so I'm the biggest nerd in the whole world. But competing, so here's my doom and gloom story, I guess. A few years ago, I was getting really, really sick, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I went to various doctors, etc., and they kept on saying, "You have to go and do this. You have to go and get this test." So I was doing all of that and getting sicker and sicker, and I finally went for an ultrasound and got the result, and was waiting for the results. And I got a call from the specialist, and the specialist said, "Can you please come in?" So I went in, and he told me that I had uterine cancer, and it wasn't just benign tumours or anything. It was, you have to go and get this out now, otherwise you're not going to live anymore. So um, that kind of inspired me to, I had a bucket list of things to do, and one of them was to try and get fit, try and get healthy, try and compete, try and do all these, travel, all these things, and competing on stage was one of those things in the bucket list. So when I actually recovered from cancer and I'm still here, yay, that was on top of my bucket list. So I thought, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my life and just really do the things that I want to do and be happy for each day that I'm alive, and just, tick off those things and be kind and good to yourself and those around you.
Wow, that is so inspirational. You turned, such a tough situation into something so positive and really just living your life. And yeah, that's incredible. What steps did you take when you decided that you wanted to compete? Obviously, your health would have been a top priority.
Yeah, yeah. So I it was kind of hard to navigate at first, particularly when you don't know anyone in bodybuilding. You don't know many people, haven't made the connections with people in the gym. You don't know that you have to go to posing, etc. So what I did is I found one of the girls that I followed, and I just stalked her Instagram. So I just found out, who she trained with, what she did, etc. Reached out to her. She was amazing and lovely, and helped me. That was Crystal Maiolo. She's from Perth. Um, so I got in touch with Michelle Edmead, who was my first coach, and she just helped me through the journey. So that was the first step, and just, surrounding yourself with good people who who inspire you, who lift you up when you're down. They're all the kind of steps that I took first.
Yeah, amazing. And what was it that kept you pushing, like on the harder days? I can imagine you might have struggled with things like energy while you were recovering your health.
So when I decided to compete, I was in ICN to start with, and I had my surgery, a major surgery, in September, and so comp is in April. So I had a very, very, very big, a lot of time off. So when I finally started to exercise again, um, it was just that, you've got a goal. You be thankful for every day that you are on this earth, and go for that goal, and just keep on pushing and keep on persevering.
Yeah, I think that perspective is such a big thing. Like you see people on comp prep who are perfectly healthy complaining about having to do training or having to do steps or having to do their cardio. And I think, when you go through something as big as you have, that would just really put everything into perspective and just make you grateful that you are
Yeah,
able to do those things.
yeah, and still to this day, every day I wake up, I am so grateful that I open my eyes, I see my lovely partner, or I get a message from him when he's traveling. I see my family. I put my feet on the earth. I'm just so, so grateful every day.
Yeah, amazing. And what did you do during prep to make sure your health stayed as a top priority and you stayed on track for the show as well?
So keeping on top of your nutrition and supplements is really, really important. Um, Supplement wise, for me, it's more my vitamins. I'm quite a natural person, uh, so I try not to take any pre workouts, etc. It's more my vitamin C. I take my collagen, my magnesium, my zinc, just vitamin D. Just keeping on top of all of those things, and also eating healthily, but then having that time to rest, and just to like reflect on yourself, and just come back and think, okay, I'm doing this, and I'm doing and there's so much output, but who am I, and what are my core values? And every time you come back and reflect, and you realize what your values are and what your core values are, that keeps you healthy, and it keeps you motivated to keep on going.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And so, what shows did you do before you competed in FMG?
So I did ICN. I started there. So I'm from Perth. So I did ICNWA, the old people's sorry, the old I call it the old people's division. Yeah. Yeah, so I went in the old people's division, and all the opens. I just went in everything. I'm never doing that again. It's too tiring. So I actually placed in all of the opens, and all the other divisions against the youngsters, which was great. And I won my division, and then after that, I won the nationals as well in sports and fitness.
Wow, amazing. And then you went on to compete in FMG, right?
Yeah, yeah. I thought FMG just looks so fun, so I thought I'd give it a go, and oh my god, I love it. It is so addictive.
It is, isn't it? So, tell me about your first FMG show. How did that go?
Oh, okay. So because I'm you might as well call me Adversity Adele. So leading up to my my show, I broke my toe. So it wasn't just a little break, it was a major break. I was actually cooking a really nice pad thai, and I just grabbed a really heavy chopping board, and it guillotined my foot.
Oh my
So I had,
gosh.
yeah, yeah. So I had a bad broken toe for 8 weeks. I had a moon boot on for all that time. So leading up to the show, I was, significantly injured. I couldn't put a posing shoe on. I couldn't. I was going to posing classes with my moon shoe and or moon boot, moon boot on. So that was kind of like the lead up to my first FMG show. It was great.
Wow. How did you manage, like, things like steps and your output on prep? Did you have to do something instead with your moon boot on?
Yeah, yeah. So I had to really change it up. I couldn't lift heavily, so it was just like a lot of time under tension and low weights. And instead of doing steps, I found the love hate relationship with the exercise bike. I hate riding. I hate it. And then when I could actually, when my toe was getting better, I started swimming again. So I would like swim 2 or 3 times a week at the local pool. So that's how I just tried my best to navigate, and do what I can, so I could get on stage.
Yeah, amazing. And then you got on stage and you won your category and you won your pro card, which is
Yeah.
absolutely insane. How did that feel after everything that you've been through?
Oh, I could not believe it. Well, my foot was sore. I can tell you that. I had to wear my comfortable high heels, and my lovely partner, he went around Sydney trying to find hot glue gun and and jewels to put on it the night before because I couldn't put any shoes on. But winning your pro card, it just felt like such an achievement, and particularly with all the stuff that I've gone through, it was one of those things where I couldn't believe it. It was amazing, but it also really really inspired me to think, okay, well, I I've won my pro card now. How can I pay it forward, and how can I help others in whatever journey they're going through?
Yeah, amazing. And I feel like you just coming on this podcast and sharing your story as well will definitely help others and inspire them for sure.
I hope so.
What I see that you travel a lot with your partner. So what strategies do you use to stay on track while you're traveling?
Um, oh yeah. So I spend about over 5,000 hours on a plane a year. Yeah, we travel a lot because Anton's a professional fighter, so we do a lot of stuff. So strategies I use is, okay. Number one, always have exit row seats, so additional leg room. Um, if you're traveling a lot, business class and things like that are not affordable. So exit row seat. Yeah, number two is, my go-to is papaya. I always pack papaya, or but try and find papaya, because it's really good for my system and has really good nutrients. Um, Always I try and find a studio apartment or something with a kitchen, and microwave, and pack a NutriBullet. They're like they're kind of like the strategies that we have. But in terms of sleep deprivation and all, it's just just really taking note of how you're feeling and where you're at, and being cognizant of you know what's going on in you, and having the courage to say, oh well, hey, I actually I need to rest today, or I actually can't go and do that. Just having a lot of self-awareness when you travel.
Yeah, amazing. Do you feel like it helps you having Anton, who's obviously, top of what he does, and do you think that helps you with your kind of athlete mindset?
Oh my goodness, I would not be doing any of this, or I would not be where I am today without him. He is just amazing. He's my universe. He gave me the courage to persevere. The amount of times that I woke up crying, can't do this, my foot's sore, my this, my that, and he would just, you know, talk me through it, and just really helped me become more resilient and persevere through, all my struggles, fictitious or not. Yeah.
I think that support network while you're, prepping and going through tough times is definitely so important. So that's a bit of advice for competitors. If you're looking to
Mm.
get into a show, just make sure you have people around you that, you can lean on the harder days and have them support you.
Yeah, definitely.
So post show, obviously it's pretty intense going through a prep. How did you find balance after that?
Balance? What's balance? Only kidding. Only kidding. So I think, yeah, it's really, really hard to find balance after a show. Um, as you said before, it's having that support network around you and leaning on people who have been through post show blues and reverse dieting and all of the highs and lows that come with it. Having that support network around you, and then actually goal setting for what you're going to do going forward, and allowing yourself to do those things that will help you recover. For example, my goal at the moment is to really look at my core strength and rebuilding my healing my injuries. So allowing yourself to just have that time to to restock and be good to yourself and to be kind to yourself, and set that as one of your goals after a show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you get deep in a prep, you definitely don't have as much time for that downtime and you kind of push through injuries sometimes. So I think that's super important. What advice would you give to women who are over 45 and are just starting out or wanting to enter bodybuilding?
Oh, do it. You know, age is no barrier, but it is no barrier at all. I actually think that when you're older, it's such a perfect time to get into bodybuilding and to enter into a show as a goal, because you don't have um, those sensations that you have when you're younger. You're more confident about yourself. You know yourself a lot better. You're probably more financially established as well, so you can commit to training and commit to buying bikinis and things like that. So I think it is go 40 plus, and then 45 plus is a perfect time. And I really, really encourage all women who are over 45 to give it a go. Age is no barrier, and your body, it responds to good nutrition and exercise. It does respond to it. So put the wine glass away. Yeah. And enroll in the yeah, and enroll, register for a competition. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I honestly couldn't believe it when I saw you in the 45 plus category. I thought there's no way you could be over 45. So that's just proof to anyone who is the same age that, with the right training, nutrition, and everything like that, putting in the work, then you can look absolutely incredible. I'll drop your links to your socials down below as well so people can check out some photos because, yeah, it's just so inspirational. Did you weight train or anything when you were a bit younger, or did you start only recently?
um, I did a little bit of weight training. I used to, when I was younger, I used to be a model. So I was more into the super skinny look. So going into a gym and weight training was just like, no, I'm not, I don't do that. I only really started getting into weight training probably when I was about 40, in my 40s. And then I guess because when you get older, for me, I kind of thought, well, I really need to, you know, do some weights to support my bones and my structure. And plus the fact that I was quite ill at that time, and not knowing why I was ill, I thought, well, maybe I can start going to the gym, and that would help as well. So yeah, I'm a late gymmer.
Yeah, amazing. Are there any adjustments in kind of your training that you've found particularly beneficial recently?
So at the moment, I'm not really training at all. I'm focusing on rehab. Uh, so the main thing I've been doing before I even lift a 3 kilogram dumbbell, that's the extent of my weight training, is doing activations. So I do a lot of core activations now through Pilates and activating my glutes and activating my shoulders. Just those little activations just really, really set you up correctly for your workout. And it also helps all the right muscles fire, and protects you more from injury. So that's kind of like the biggest adjustment that I've made, and I'll carry that forward.
Yes, amazing. And how did you find out what sort of activations you need to be doing? Was that through like a physio or a coach?
Yeah, so I go to a chiro in Brisbane, and they help me with all of activations. I also have a really good friend in Perth, Shane Smith. He's amazing. He's the activation king. So you're not even allowed to attend one of his classes unless you come 15 minutes earlier and do all the activations that he puts you through. So that's how I learned all of them. And they're hard as well when you do them properly. You don't want to do your workout after.
Yeah, I feel like they're honestly harder than the actual workout sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, definitely.
Definitely super important on prep as well to do your activations. Like I know my body gets pretty sore from posing, so like recently I've been starting to do my activations before I do posing as well, like not just my workouts, to try and really, protect my body and keep it in the best place possible during prep. So that's a little tip for anyone who is listening to this on prep. Who has been the biggest motivation and inspiration for you during this journey?
Uh, two people. So definitely Anton. He's so motivated. He's just been everything. Um, he's just amazing. The other person who's really I get inspired by is Samantha Weeks. She's my posing coach, and she'll be my coach going forward. She's just beautiful, just a beautiful person. I just love watching all her stuff and following her journey. I kind of feel like her mum. Every time she does something, I've got like this a tear in my eye, and I like to bring cakes when no one else is allowed to eat them, but and little plants for the studio and things, things like that. But Anton and Sam would be my greatest inspirations.
Yeah,
And you,
amazing.
how
Well,
about
for
you?
anyone, oh, thank you. For anyone listening to this, we are doing a podcast next with Samantha Wicks as well. So everyone can look forward to that as well, which is super exciting. So, for anyone facing similar adversities on their journey, what would be your advice on finding strength and resilience?
Just my advice would be, remember what your goal is, and and just back yourself. Is that you retrain your mindset to think not what is bad, not what pain you're going through, or not the negative things. Focus on the positives. So look forward instead of being in the moment and where you're feeling something, because sometimes your feelings aren't real. So if you get out of that mindset and think, okay, what am I doing, and why am I here, and what are my goals? Look forward instead of being in the moment, or looking backwards. That's that's my advice.
Yeah, I love that. Those are beautiful words. And what's next for you in the sport? Like, what goals do you have?
I'd love to get a crown. So I'd love to do that. So after I finish rehab, then I'll start training again. So that's my goal. But for this sport, what I really would like to do is just to pay it forward, and help others on the journey. So I'm doing work with the Cancer Council. I'm just doing some public speaking and motivational speaking. for them. And yeah, just I've got some skincare stuff going on. So just to, I just really want to help people. So if anyone ever needs me, please reach out. I love getting messages or people asking me for advice or anything. You know, you can even ask me for tax advice if you want. You got kidding.
Yeah, amazing. And what is one piece of advice that you'd give to someone who's scared to start their journey?
Scared to start your journey, don't be scared. It's so much fun. There's work involved, but you can do that. It's just take one step at a time, a baby step at a time. Keep on going forward. Don't go back. Just keep on looking forward. Keep on visualizing the goal, and surround yourself by people who are going to support you and lift you up, not drag you down.
I love that. I couldn't agree with that more. For those of you who want to follow your journey, where can they find you online?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what my Instagram handle is.
We'll just put the link below and people can click on it.
Sorry. I told you I'm a nerd. I'm not very good at
That's right. For anyone listening, we'll link you down below and you can go and stalk some of Adele's comp photos and maybe you'll put some motivational speaking on there for people as well.
it. Yeah, love to.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your inspiring journey. I can't wait to see what you do next, and hopefully, I'll see you one day winning that crown.
Yeah, and hopefully I see you winning that crown too. And
Fingers
I'll be copying your front post.
crossed.
Yeah, yeah.
And thank you to our amazing listeners as well. If you could take a minute to follow, rate, and share this podcast to your stories, I really would be so grateful. It helps us to grow and get more and more incredible guests on.